Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Sidestagewithsoph, the show that takes you behind the safety curtain, behind the scenes, showing you what it really takes to get a show up on its feet. From cuts to costume fittings, sits probe to star ratings, and tech to fine tuning, we will discuss it all here with your host, Soph. Our guest today is a gal who's got down in Hawkins and had a mouthful of hairspray while never growing up, and who always found me in the audience. Join me in welcoming Amara Campbell to the pod.
That was iconic. I loved that. That was
Good.
great. Hi guys. Hi.
Amara is fresh from being in The Greatest Showman at the Bristol Hippodrome. How are you?
I'm good, girl. I'm great.
Good. So I like to start every episode of Side Stage with Soph with the same question. So that is, what is the most important part of your pre-show routine that obviously isn't warm up? What is something personal to you that you find? It can be any time from the time you wake up, or even the day before, trying to prep, that kind of thing. Just something you do to prep for the show.
I think it's different with every single show. I think if it's a really dance heavy show, I have to do a split. I know it's not that big a deal, but I have to do a split both sides just to make sure that she's working.
Mm-hmm.
But hmm. You know what? I always have an apple before every single show. That's really, really specific, but I have an
Yeah.
apple before every single show. I wouldn't say that's a ritual. That's just now you've asked me that question. I'm thinking, what do I do? What? And I eat an apple.
Eat an apple.
How strange is that?
Red or green?
Oh, pink lady.
Oh, yes, of
Yeah,
course.
always.
Yes, of
Pink
course.
lady. I'm a pink lady gal.
Lovely. So rehearsals and tech can be grueling. If you know, you know. Is there anyone or something someone has said to boost everyone that you've kind of kept up with, or even in previous jobs to now? Is there anything that you've maybe tried to keep the vibes up in what can be like really rough times?
Um, okay, so when we did Stranger Things, actually, so obviously we were working with Stephen and Justin, iconic people.
Mm.
Stranger Things, the tech process for that in particular was crazy. It was so long. It was very, very tiring, exhausting, but it was all worth it. I remember
Mhm.
them pulling us into one corner in the stores. And this is when everyone just felt so fatigued. Everyone was tired, everyone was run down. Obviously, certain people were still doing the show in the evening,
Yes, yeah.
but then still doing rehearsals in the day. So that was really long for them. Um, but they would just always reiterate, just wait for opening night. It's worth it. It's all for opening night. There's going to be no better feeling than when you first open. All this hard work that you've been putting in for the past 10 weeks.
It's so long.
It will all be worth it when you open the show and you do your final bow and everyone goes crazy. And with Showman, it was a really intense tech
Hmm.
process as well, obviously with it being a brand new show. So in the back of my mind, I was always thinking, it's for opening night.
Yeah,
It's worth it. It's fine.
yeah.
It's
I
for
love
a
that.
greater cause.
Yeah. Good, good. I have a slightly silly question, but this is you're very into your gym stuff. Follow Fit AF on Instagram. But okay, fair. Would you say your preparation for a play is different to a musical? Are there things that like overlap, or are they like quite different? Because obviously they're two very different things. Like Stranger Things was a play, quite an elevated play, but you have also done a lot of musicals then as well.
Yeah. How do you mean, sorry, with the
But
prep?
just
Do you
like
mean
just before show, obviously, I mean, you had warm up and stuff for the play. Um,
with the same as in like food and stuff?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So with Stranger Things, like I said, it's an elevated play, but
Mm,
Stranger Things physically for me is the easiest show I've ever done.
right.
So I would have my lunch in the interval for that. Or
Okay.
my dinner, sorry, in the interval. And most people would.
Yeah.
Because Stranger Things is so long, it's such a long play. We don't get home till, depending on where you live, 11:30,
Oh gosh.
midnight. So you don't really want to have a big dinner before you go straight to sleep.
Yeah,
Usually
yeah.
people would have their dinner in the interval, yeah.
Okay, fair.
And then in between shows, because we had such a big break and they had to basically prepare from the end of the show to
Yeah,
the top of the show for the second show, I I would go to the gym and
you
I
would.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Um, so to change the subject a little bit, in the Bat Out of Hell international tour, you performed in massive arenas. I saw it in Swansea.
Dude,
Such a random place, honestly. Yeah.
really, I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't know that either because I went through your CV, saw you'd been back, like, remembered you had been in Battle of Hell. I was like, I wonder was she on when I went, and I'm nearly certain you were. I think I like cross-referenced your Instagram. What happened was I was in London and my friend was going, and she was like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I saw you in Swansea.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh my God. That was my first professional job off a ship
yeah,
in the UK. As here.
yeah. There you go. Fun fact. Um, so you've performed in massive arenas, but on the flip side, you've also performed in venues like the Phoenix and the Aldwych, which are quite close to the audience. Which do you prefer? Would you say?
That's a tough question. They're so different.
Mm,
The arenas were massive. I've never experienced anything like that in my life, especially the ones in Australia.
mm,
They were so, so big. But there is something about a smaller theatre because it's much more intimate. You can see the people on the front row if you've got friends or people coming to see you can make eye contact with them. Yeah, they're so I don't think I have a preference. They're just so
right.
different.
Just for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Did you notice much difference in how the show Battle of Hell was received, say, across the world, or when you were in London? Like, did you have to prepare any different? Like, were there any different customs between theatre in those other countries and, say, the UK? Would you say?
Um, well, when we did it in Australia, it was more of a concert version.
Okay.
So they didn't have all of the set pieces. Certain things had changed a little bit. It was still very dance heavy. Um, but sorry, what was the question?
Like, did you notice how if the show was received any differently? Like, were there audiences, say, more rowdy in Australia, or are they more rowdy in the UK? Do you think they received the show differently? You know, if they like, there's some numbers that audiences might love one place and might be different reception somewhere else, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think strangely, it was really well received in Germany. The Germans love Bat Out of Hell.
Love it.
They love it over there. Um, I mean, with Australia, because we were in these big arenas, the applause at the end was just unmatched.
Mm,
And I remember one we did I mean the main song that everyone knows, like a better the hell I be gone, that big number. The first time we did it in that arena, and they had loads of I don't know what they're called, just like random poppers going off, and they were all like coming down slowly. And I remember just looking out into the audience, and it was such a euphoric feeling.
mm.
It was like an out of body experience. It was they went crazy. So I think if people like Meatloaf, Jim Steinman, if they're into that, I think they're going to love the show either way. But I
Hmm.
would say Germany, they really really loved it over there.
Okay, slay. This is something I've wanted to know for a while, and you mentioned you were on a ship. It's another quite silly question. But, like, before you go on a ship, right, do you have to take anything to make sure, like, to find out if you get seasick? Because I can imagine going through all these auditions, getting on board, and suddenly set sail, and it's like, oops. Like, I feel
They
like it's silly, but a practical question.
they didn't mention that to us, but on the ship you can get seasickness tablets for free.
Right,
They
okay,
provide that. They also have little sick bags just all around the ship.
okay. Just
So
that was just a question I had. Yeah.
do you get seasick or do you not know?
I don't know, but I have a fear of sick in general.
Oh,
So yeah, it would make me a bit worried. But I do want to go up. I do want to do a cruise like up the Norwegian Fjords someday. So I might have to
ah.
just, yeah, it's my kind of thing now. Um,
Ooh.
was performing like always a goal slash plan for you? How did you become the icon that you are?
Oh, that's really sweet. Um, yeah, I've always wanted to perform from a young
Mm-hmm.
age. I've always known exactly what I wanted to do. I've always been so physical and active. I did so many different sports as a kid. And then when I found dance, when my mum got me into dance, I loved it. And she
Yeah.
even said she knew that this is what I was going to do. I didn't know in what aspect. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be a dancer. Like I wanted to go on tours with artists and do music videos and stuff like that. That was kind
Yeah.
of where I saw myself going. And then I kind of got sucked into this musical theatre world. And yeah, I've always wanted to perform. I've always been so physical and creative, and what better way than to dance, right?
Yeah, it is so great to be able to dance, like, and just be in musicals in general. I feel like there's no feeling that could match it, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. You've been in some iconic shows, telling some special stories like Hairspray, Sister Act, The Greatest Showman. Is there a message from any of them that stick out to you?
Mm, yeah, I think with Hairspray, especially equality.
Mm-hmm.
See the story of Hairspray. I do think Hairspray is very old now. I think where we are in the world is much better. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Equality across the board with
Mm-hmm.
everyone. And then I think with Showman, that I think the story of Showman's beautiful. I think it tells a really, really important message in a really fun way.
Yeah.
But I think the story of Showman is to just be true to who you are and to
Absolutely.
love who you are and never let anyone dim your
Yeah.
light. And I think that that's a really important message for everyone.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've tried to bring through my life just in the last few years. And it's literally one of the cheesiest things you could ever say to anyone, to just be yourself. And it can be so hard, but like when you do it, like the release you'll have, and when you realize what you attract yourself, then it is like nothing else.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, so on the subject of messages as well, Stranger Things proves that you've got to protect what you love. In your career so far, have you ever had a moment or job that you said, hell or high water, I am getting that in? This, like, my podcast really likes to focus on what happens before a performer hits the stage, so I'm just intrigued to know some, maybe a thought process you've had going into an audition, or just somewhere that you've been challenged in general and obviously had to overcome that.
Mm, okay, so sorry, the question is how I prepare for like auditions and stuff.
Yeah, and like just how you really like if there's been any particular jobs that you've been like, I need it, like I am going to get this, and just how you push through.
So I think one thing for me, and I think a lot of performers would agree, is when you have an audition, say if you have material to learn or you want to sing a song of your own choice, just be as well prepared as
Mhm.
possible. You know,
Mhm.
I always say plan to fail, fail to plan. You have to be prepared. You have that just takes an element of stress away from you. If you go
Yeah.
in and you know what you're doing and you feel really organized, that's a tick already, I think. Um but I think with me, so when I did my teen auditions, I would honestly say that's probably the hardest audition I've ever done. And I saw some of the girls from Tina last weekend, and we were talking about the audition and how brutal
Oh
it
gosh.
was doing the routine over and over and over again. And I think the style of Tina is so specific
Mm.
and particular.
It's very slick, I feel.
Yeah, it is. And I, I don't know. I just feel like if there's something in you, if you really want something,
Yeah.
then you you should do as much as you physically can in that moment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with a dance round, especially if you don't know the routine, it's just focusing and listening, absorbing, taking on every single detail. But then when it comes to material, just be prepared.
Have you ever been given a piece of choreo, either in a rehearsal process or still in the auditions, and gone, absolutely not, I will never get that, nope, nah, and like just power, as you say, power through, like take yourself to a little corner and do it? Or how would you get through that if you just got something that you just feel like you can't get a mental block? How would you get through that?
Mm. S- So I with dance, I'm not the most technical dancer.
Right.
I love musical theatre. I love commercial hip hop, jazz. But when it comes to like ballet and
Mm-hmm.
tap, especially, that's not really my area. And the thing is with me, I will fake it as hard as I can till I make it. So,
Mm-hmm.
Shrek, for example, we had to do tap. I am maybe just past a beginner level of tap. I'm not a tapper, but the face, if I'm giving you face
You
and
don't need
I'm
to look
smiling,
down.
you don't need to look at my feet.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I will just fake it till I make it. I'll perform as much as I can using every single part of my body, but just don't look at my feet.
I mean, you used to get down in Hawkins really well
Thank you,
in
girl. Thank
mailbox.
you.
I can still see that. That one. Um, so I wanted to ask, like, after auditions, look, is making your West End debut does it feel as significant as, like, people obviously make it out to be this really big thing? Do you get that feeling when you make your West End debut, or is it more so like where you do your bigger jobs? Like you said in Australia, when you did finish Bat Out of Hell for the first time, you just got like a really big applause. Like, would that feeling equal it? Like, or is there just something, just that little thing special about like a West End debut? It just feels like an accolade that everyone seems to aim for, and
Every
like
yeah.
does it feel the way you think it should? Gorge. Well, we are now on to our would you rather, is this or that.
Ooh,
If you want to make, you can answer the questions as long or as short as you like. Some are general, and then others are what I've kind of tried to cater to your CV.
okay.
So, opening or closing show,
Opening.
matinee or evening.
Evening. Sorry. Evening all day. Sorry. All day.
Um, you can't stop the beat or freak flag.
You can't stop the beat.
The upside down or Neverland.
The upside down.
Yeah. Um, Burn Baby Burn or Big Blonde and Beautiful?
Oh, now that's a
Now,
hard
I
one.
know they're not what the songs are called, but the alliteration worked. Let's just put that out there.
No, that's a really hard question. I think I yeah, Burn Baby Burn, Disco Inferno,
Okay.
yeah.
Shrek's Swamp or Henry's Attic?
Oh, Henry's Attic.
Oh. And would you rather be a dynamite or sing next to Dolores?
A dynamite.
Oh, go on.
Yeah.
So before our curtain drops for the final time on this episode, being in Stranger Things and I assume The Greatest Showman is the same. A lot of people behind the scenes get lost, especially they're very tech heavy shows, I imagine. What's a team that you feel needs more hype, just in theatre in general, like backstage or multiple teams?
Oh my gosh, I feel like everyone. I feel like everyone needs more hype. Wham. I think the crew backstage, sound,
Hmm.
lighting. I think everyone
Yeah,
needs more hype because
that's fair.
obviously they when they watch a show, they see the cast, they see
Yeah,
everyone who's like singing, dancing, doing whatever. But then without the people backstage, that wouldn't happen,
yeah, yeah,
you know? But I think stage managers need a big shout out because they have a hard job. I
yeah.
could never ever do that job. That is
No,
a hard job.
I would love to be an ASM at some
Oh,
point in my life.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. Babe, do it.
Oh, I will. I will. I'm gonna get there. I promise.
You want to
Trust
do
me.
it all.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't think I'd be able to sit at a desk for like 2.5 hours, like be a DSM. I don't think I'd have the full focus.
Yeah.
So at least in ASM you can like be up on your feet and just, be everywhere at once, really.
Proactive. Yeah.
Exactly. But that, my lovely, is all the questions I have today.
That was so much fun.
Good.
I had a
Good.
great time. This is
Thank you
great.
so much for joining me. And I appreciate you joining me. And for my audience, thank you so much again for watching or listening and supporting. And I'll see y'all the next time on Side Stage with Soph. Bye!